Hey guys, and welcome to the Bayern View. Hopefully, everybody is doing okay. Bless up to everybody. First things first, I want to apologise for this being a little bit late. Obviously, I've just been to watch Tottenham versus Bayern, or shall I say the other way around. It's at the Allianz Arena. I am currently in Munich, Germany, having a great time with the family. But obviously, I had to get these two legends on because it is Alex Fußball time. And I know full well that you guys are going to be laughing at me with certain transfer news that come in today, which I haven't seen. But hey, if I lag through the stream, I apologise. I'm on hotel Wi-Fi. But yeah, how are we doing, lads?
Yeah, I'm doing well, thank you. And you enjoy the game?
Yeah, the game was good, bro. The game was good. I'm trying to set this up, but it don't work. Yeah, the game was really good, mate. A nice four nil win. Um, so yeah, again, some might not like this, but we have to say it again, don't we? Who the fuck are Tottenham? You know what I mean? Slap them up left, right, and centre. You come to my yard trying to do something. But no. All seriousness, yeah, it was good. It was good. Um, Me messing around as always. But yeah, where do you want to start? Should we start Bayern? Should we start Sesko? Where do you want to start?
Well, I'd probably say that I'm doing well as well. Thank you for asking, everyone.
Bless
Um,
up, Justin.
I would turn, I would turn around and probably say we'll start with Bayern, considering that you've just literally come back from the the game from Munich, basically. So for people who haven't actually gotten a chance to watch or anything, I don't know if you're going to put any spoilers or anything like that out, but like what were your thoughts on it? What are you guys doing basically? Because obviously RB Leipzig, my team, play you guys in match day one. What are you guys like experimenting, or is it just business as usual? And I mean, I know it's Tottenham. Pretty much almost anyone in world football could probably beat them 4-0. Shots fired. But yeah, what was it like basically?
Yeah, no, it was really, really good. Really enjoyed it. I think it made it more special because it was the first time I got to take the little one with me, which 5 minutes into the game, I'm bored, which wasn't great, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, no, she perked up when she got food, as normal. But yeah, the game itself, really, really good. I am going to do a separate stream to it, but I can talk on here as well. That's fine. Um, yeah, so basically, the starting team, I think, is going to be the starting team, if that makes any sense. It was our main team, main 11 type thing. So yeah, like yeah, there's not really much to say. Um, I do have a different thing to say on Elise now as well, though. I don't think he's just the best right winger in the world. I think he's the best player in the world. Um, this guy, I know it's a preseason game. I'm going to get clowned. I get clowned every day. I get people copying my shows and everything. You guys know this, so you know what I mean. There ain't no difference. Um, what I seen him do today, again, yes, it's a Tottenham with a new manager. It's Tottenham of all things as well. Tottenham is shit. We know this. There's literally a saying. Who, what do you think of Tottenham? And then they say shit. So, um, but yeah, no. Super duper happy with the game, mate. Again, to slap them 5-0, 4-0. I thought it was going to be a 3-2, by the way, just so everybody knows. I thought it was going to be 3-2. I thought they'll get some goals, we'll get some goals. This guy, and yeah, we'll go from there. But yeah, no, it was good. It was really really good. I enjoyed it. And yeah, obviously amazing to be. Like, I've been to the Alliance before, but the fact that it was obviously the game itself and the atmosphere was amazing. But they were doing, I don't know if it's called the Mexican wave, but you know the thing that goes around the stadium. Um,
Yeah,
they were they were doing that, and like I think the missus thought I was grumpy because I was not doing it at all. I was like, I'm here to watch a freaking football game. What the fuck's going on? This ain't a concert. Um, so, but yeah, no. Other than that, it was a good game. I know obviously Justin. I've just gone long winded there with my answer, but obviously you want to know what's happening, so on and so forth, because we're playing each other soon. Basically, again, first half was the main team, and then I think it wasn't straight at second half. I think it might have been maybe 50, 60 minutes. Then he switched it up, which was funny enough because we actually scored more goals in that half with the younger players in our team, which makes no sense. Um, but yeah, no, without a doubt, it was a good experience. Main team was on straight away, because we don't have a cam at the moment or an attacking mid, whatever you want to say. They, put Olise in the 10, and he was clicking like no other business. We had Coman on the right, obviously Luis Diaz on the left. I liked what I seen from him. Obviously, he's going to be a slower player in the fact that I don't think he's going to be a duck to water. You know what I mean? Kind of like what some other players have come in and then he's just done amazing. I think he's going to have to get his timing because, in certain aspects of the game, like his skills, they were just off. I think if his timing was a little bit better and he's used to the league, then I think then he's going to be clicking. But yeah, no. Overall, enjoyed the game. Was a good time. And yeah, man. So
Great to
yeah,
hear.
that's basically that
Great to
from
hear.
me. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I've got some transfer news and things like that, but
Of
I'll
course.
let Alex take over the Bayer Leverkusen side of things. If unless he doesn't know or anything like that, then I'm more than happy to help up and go. But wanted to start talking about a few transfers, and I was just having a look at some of the news and stuff coming through. And it seems like Marvin Dukic is joining Birmingham City from Werder Bremen for about €2 million. These are all articles and things like that that have come out pretty much this today. I would say your time because it's different day my time. There's a few other things as well in there. It does say that Bayer Leverkusen still want to sign a centre back, midfielder, and an attacker in this window. So that's a great segue to hand it over to Alex. Got any people in mind, or is the club got people in mind?
Yeah, so we have a lot of players still to sign. Ten Hag wants to sign 4 or 5. Whether that's realistic, I'm not sure. Yeah, so in terms of defenders, well, we really need a right back. Arthur got stuffed off injured in the most recent game against Pisa, so you don't really have a natural right-sided defender. We do have Keller, who has been playing at right wing back at this point, but ideally we need a true right back for the depth. There doesn't seem to be a lot of rumours at the moment. There has been Omar El Hilali, who's a Spaniel right back, and we were watching him in a recent friendly against Wolfsburg. Be a very different kind of player to Arthur and to our other wing back options, much more defensive. Bit more of a Stanisic type player on midfield. In terms of defenders, though, the most concrete one so far in most recent days is probably Loic Bade or Sevilla. He's been linked to a lot of Premier League clubs such as Bournemouth and Sunderland, but the player himself wants to play in the Champions League, so fortunately that puts us in a very good position. Whether or not he's worth money, I'm not sure. He is recently a full French international, which is great, but realistically be joining as a third or fourth choice centre back, and given that we're still lacking the difference maker in Wirtz, such as Wirtz, who we obviously lost. We do have Matza and Tillman. Tillman's yet to play fitness, and Mazraoui is exceptional as well, but we're still looking for a statement signing up front. We are looking at a central midfielder, but only one which is going to improve us and gain us a lot more money in the long term. At first, it was thought that we were going to get an experienced alternative to Xhaka, 30+ years old, so on. But now it seems to be that we get trying to look for top talent. Doesn't seem to be the highest priority, as mentioned before. We've got 3 very capable central midfielders already in Garcia and Palacios and it. So that's okay. Yeah, so I realistically looking at Aki Akiuchi, I've messed that up massively. He seems to be the top target. Up to this point, it's always been too expensive to be asking for 70 million, but given that no one seems to be interested, very similar situation to Volkamada, and there's hope that again 20 million less, maybe 50 million, it would still be absolutely crazy for Leverkusen to pull off if it happens. If he did, it'd be exceptional. This evening there's been breaking news that Dennis Blasby from Leipzig is going to replace Betsy, who's on his way to Monaco. Be a very solid backup keeper and good as well. It's good to like your local player, local players, that local player with goalkeepers as possible. You know, you can to sacrifice quality so much. And we've also got Ernest Poku from RZ Alkmaar. He should be very cheap, maybe about 5 million or so. Contract expires next year. Very, very quick right winger. Very questions being raised about his vision from the goal. But at least we're finally starting to make some moves. Not that we haven't already really signed with 10 players, but we seem to be making some serious moves, and hopefully he and have our squad complete in the next couple of weeks.
So how many more what do you call them, friendly games do you guys have left before you start your round one in the DFB Pokal?
Yeah, so we just
for
have
both
one
of
more.
you, Alex? Just the one, yep. And the same thing for you as well, Liam. Yeah, so we've got the same thing. Yeah, we've got Lens coming up over on the weekend, couple probably around about 24 hours or so, maybe a little bit longer, and then we have the week later we start with against SV Sandhausen in the DFB Pokal on round one. Who are you guys playing for both of that? Any team specific? Like you've got a blockbuster draw or anything like that, or is it just still like regionally good teams?
Well, Leverkusen have got Chelsea up next. Thankfully, I'll be going there tomorrow. Be a really good game. It'll be their first game of pre-season, so I don't know. Really take too much from it. It could be quite similar to how we play against Flamengo. The fitness, that would be the decisive factor, I think, as much as anything.
Can I just stop you just 1 second? Just 1 second. Just 1 second, because I know Justin won't give a shit, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Don't come in my chat dissing members of my chat on the panel, because if you do, I'm gonna ban you. Okay, I'm giving you this one warning. I'm gonna time you out. You do it again, I'm banning you. All right? I don't care. Yeah, fuck his club. Yeah. I'll say it straight to his face. But that don't mean you need to diss the person. All right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's fine, Liam, mate. Like I'm an RB Leipzig supporter. I get it all the time. So, and the fact that person's trying to make fun of my bald head, mate, it doesn't really give a shit, to be honest. What are you, 3 years old, dude? Like, come on.
No, I know that you don't care, but you never know who's going to come on the channel, and you know they might be sensitive. So, yeah, just don't be a dickhead, man. Sorry, Alex. Carry on, bro.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, so got a long day in London tomorrow, and meet up with the rest of the UK fan club as well. Good to see him for the first time. Yeah, I probably expect similar score to what you were expecting. 3-2. I hope it's going to be tight, but last time we played in London for a pre-season friendly ended up being 5-1 for Arsenal. So,
yeah, I think we've got Grasshoppers Club.
I think they're Scottish or something like that.
Yeah, that's who we've got, and then I know that there's going to be another pre-season game, like booked one. I'll be very surprised if we don't go against the amateur team. You know, the team we beat 20-0 every single season.
Didn't you do that just recently? You had like a 10-0 game or something?
No. That was Club World Cup. Yeah, no, we play an amateur team normally. I think one of the games we beat them 32-0. And then everyone's like,
right.
oh, what Bayern doing? But like, what people don't understand is the fact that the attendance, all of the money generated goes to them. That's the whole point. We're trying to help them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we recently already did that, to be honest. RB Leipzig did. We played a regional team as well. I don't actually have that on me right now. Just give me like about 30 seconds or so,
No worries.
and I'll be able to tell you. But that was our first friendly fixture actually for the season. We ended up playing a team where basically it was only maybe like 10,000 or something like that stadium. ZFC Musowitz, I'm going to say, probably may have pronounced that incorrectly. But we beat them 3-0, and pretty much all the proceeds and everything like that, revenue, everything went to that club, not us. So we basically went there as basically promotional. Which, I mean, in terms of German football, you could probably pick a lot bigger other clubs, including you both of you two there. But yeah, look, it's good to see that, but that all clubs basically get in on it. So I'm not too sure if Leverkusen are doing so. So. And just a quick there in the chat to probably a troll with that name, but you can give us Simmons for free. That's never going to happen in world football unless he does an Mbappe, which I don't think is going to happen. I think the club's going to get rid of him pretty soon anyway. So the same thing from you get another person in the chat there, Dave55. Can you give us Lacabra along with Simmons? Don't know who you mean, as in what club you support, so I don't know if that's to Bayern or to who.
I think Dave 55 is a Chelsea fan. Pretty sure.
Chelsea. Yeah,
Sure.
you're probably not going to be able to get both of those players. I mean, you could probably take one of them, but Lecabra's at least going to be, he says Chelsea, so I think you could get Xavi Simmons. Probably, I think it's going to be around... From what the looking at the ballpark, I think it's going to be around about £50 million, but I don't know what the equivalent to that in euro is. I think it's about 60 or something like that. So, RB Leipzig have actually been pretty much pricks, I guess you could say, for the nicest language possible about it. I mean, they're trying to recoup some of their losses from the sale and originally from PSG, but I think once it was made permanent, it was just not good. In terms of business, still a fantastic player, and we've touched on this before. But I think if a club doesn't want to stay, it doesn't matter where you are in world football, what club you support. But if a player doesn't want to stay at a club, there's no point keeping them any longer than what they want to stay there for. So because then you obviously get a lot of rift in the dressing rooms. Obviously, the players themselves could probably start playing poorly, like, why the hell am I going out here and whatever when I don't want to be here, and just things like that. So, yeah, but it's been a little bit toxic, but, I wish him all the best no matter what club he goes for, and I do hope he actually goes before the end of this transfer window anyway, so we don't have to carry him through till January. But look, if that's the case, he needs to just start and needs to just pretty much try to inflate his price tag. But, yeah. That's pretty much my thoughts on the topic there.
No, I'm with you. I don't know if you can you hear the train or not?
Vaguely.
Vaguely, yeah. Right.
Alex is like, no.
Yeah, I've got the window open, so that's why. But anyway, yeah, no, I think Xavi Simmons will leave. Again, he wants Champions League football, from what's been said. You're not going to give him a brand new deal to give him more money. I might dislike your club, and again, you know what I mean. Back to the troll, you know what I mean. Like,
it's mutual, mate.
Yeah, 100%. And again, with Alex, I don't like Alex's club, and he don't like mine. I know full well he don't like mine because I've seen his tweets.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with Leverkusen, to be honest. So.
Look at him laughing. But you know what I mean. Like, I don't like your club, but you are efficient. You are normally efficient. You know what I mean? So you'll get rid of him. I'm sure you get someone else, and then it'll be swap. Because that's just what you do. You know what I mean? And again, this is going to sound really big-headed, but like, because you're not the biggest in the league, you kind of have to do that. You know what I mean? You can't really not like mess around or this or that. You know what I mean? You kind of have to do that because again, one slip up could screw you over. So But yeah. Let me mute you. No worries, brother. Yeah. So let's talk about Sesko though. Let's talk about Sesko. What we
Yeah,
thinking?
go for it, Ben.
Because
What are we
Man
thinking?
United, here we go, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I've reposted that from Fabrizio Romano himself, just not long before going back on air this evening or this morning, technically, depending on where you're from. So yeah, it's pretty much done deal. He's flying over to Manchester now, and from what everything looks to be like, it's going to be around about 88 roughly million euro. Apparently, it's going to be 76.5 million euro plus 8.5 million in add-ons. Although the add-ons themselves are supposed to be very, very achievable. I don't know, obviously, what those add-ons are at the moment. However, Sesko has agreed the terms until 2030, so it's only going to be roughly about 3.5-year deal or something like that. Me personally, wish the lad all the best. He was actually our best striker last year, considering Lewis Openda really dropped off. I actually would have liked to have seen him at least until January, because I was very intrigued to see him as a sole striker in the 4-3-3 setup that Old Werner's been implementing. Very rarely we were using a back three or anything like that. If it has been, it's then been a 3-4-3 anyway, so one of the fullbacks just pushes into midfield. So, yeah, look, all the best for him. He picked Manchester United over Newcastle United, and there's been a lot of rift, I guess you could say. I've seen a couple of things on TalkSport and a few other places that a lot of the Toon aren't very happy about it, but even though you may be the biggest club in Tyne and Wear, they're not the biggest club in English football, and that is still Manchester United. Even if they have been very poor in recent years and things like that, you still have, you've got a fantastic, iconic world stadium. You've got,
1000%.
one of the biggest fan bases. The club itself, the image, as Bayern are, big brand. So, they have the allure and the pull and things like that. So that's pretty much where I'm sitting on it. So it would be nice to go and get another player. It looks to be that we're going to be getting, I think it's Romelu. I probably butchered that name. I've only seen the name. I haven't tried pronouncing the name. But he's going to be almost a like-for-like player. He comes from a Turkish side. He's not going to get the numbers the same as Benjamin Sesko did, but what's going to happen is he would be basically putting in the same type of role. So, he's going to be a target man up front for corners and things like that, and be the main focal point for any sort of set pieces for, the corners and things, passes from out wide and all that type of things. So pretty much going to be getting that like-for-like player. However, it's going to be significantly a lot cheaper. The price is touted, I think, no more than 30 million euro, but it should be less than that. So RB Leipzig will be making a profit. The only reason why is that they've already spent over 70 million euro. I think we're probably the biggest spending club in the Bundesliga this season. I don't know if you know, Alex. Is there any other club that spent the same amount? I certainly don't think Bayern have. No, you can't hear me, Alex? No.
Apologies, Samuel. My earphones are terrible.
No, that's all right.
Sorry.
So what I said is that about 70 million euro is pretty much a bit more than that is what RB Leipzig have spent this season. I don't think any other Bundesliga club have spent even close to that at all in general.
Sorry, I've turned my
No, that's fine, mate. So there's about 75 million euros what RB Leipzig have already spent on some acquisitions so far in this transfer window. I don't believe any other Bundesliga club has spent up to that amount. I think we've probably spent the most, I would say, out of all Bundesliga clubs so far.
Leverkusen this season spent, I think, possibly over 110 million euros now already.
As
so
already, wow, okay, I stand corrected.
Yeah.
So is that?
Yeah.
So you've basically already the money that you've already given Liverpool, got from Liverpool, you've basically already invested that.
Yeah, we have reinvested probably about 50% of the money we've earned so far, and we've already broken our record spending by so many tens of millions. I actually think we could even maybe reach 200 million in terms of expenditure. If you add in, for example, the Fade deal, which could happen, that could be 25 million. Akliwichi, if we get him, could be another 50 million. Then you've got Poku, another 5 million. And if we get right back, be another 20 million. So, yeah.
I mean, it adds up in world football
really
this day and age. So,
Yeah.
I mean, looking at some, there's a few more headlines as well. Apparently, Joe Bellingham is going to be receiving Giovanni Reyna's number 7 shirt at Borussia Dortmund as well. I don't know what number he was over at Southampton. I do believe it was Southampton, the Saints.
That's Sunderland, yeah.
Sunderland? Oh, well, sorry. So just piss off more Newcastle supporters. That's all right if they're in the chat. So, yeah. I don't know what his number was over at Sunderland, but, I mean, number 7, that's a decent number. I mean, I'm pretty sure his brother, Jude, had the number 7, if I remember correctly. Or at least he got the number 7 in the end. If I recall, I don't know, to be honest. Apparently, Hoffenheim have banned 2 Dietmar Hopp confidence from their stadium as well, which is quite interesting. Because I know that he's not the most popular person down in Hoffenheim. And Ritsu Dohan also joins Eintracht Frankfurt for 22 million euro. What do you think on that one, considering they got rid of Hugo Ekitike? I'm going to say that's probably how it wasn't pronounced, but what do you think of that one? Good deal, basically getting Ritsu Dohan, or?
Yeah, Frankfurt getting Ritsu Dohan is exceptional. It's probably been best fibre player for a few seasons now. Very underrated, can play multiple positions. Would go very well if they continue to use a 3 at the back system. I can imagine him being very good wing back, very, very technically gifted, good crossing. Yeah, I think that's a very good deal from Frankfurt, and I think I've seen that being the most expensive Bundesliga to Bundesliga transfer this season. Is that right?
I do believe so. I don't think that any other club has paid that amount from another club in terms of direct transfer. Liam, glad to have you back. We were just speaking about a couple of things. Speaking about some transfers. I just spoke about Benjamin Sesko, basically who his replacement possibly would be, who his replacement's already pretty much set in stone. We're just going to acquire his services. And then we just went into a couple of other things. Ritsu Dohan to Eintracht Frankfurt. Your thoughts on that one?
He's a good player. He is a good player. So, thoughts? We can have those, by the way. Thoughts? I think good signing. Good signing. I do wonder how he's going to do for them. But yeah, overall, good signing. Good signing. Again, apologies, I had to get my food. Go downstairs. Literally just ran to the elevator. Go downstairs, and because I put on the note on Uber Eats over here, I put I'll come outside to get it. Bro, I had some random Donny going through my food, man.
Yeah, right.
But
okay.
I've got it all. I've got it all. Otherwise, I had to come up with a couple of scratches. Start fighting them out.
I was going to say, is that a like a thing from like Las Vegas? Because I've never been to Munich, so is that like, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, or is that the same thing? Like what happens in Munich stays in Munich? Or?
Well, I would say yes.
Anything goes.
I would say anything goes in the sense that if they took something, but I think I've got everything. I've got them, that. Yeah, I've got everything. So I think the guy was more confused, to be anything. Just this random guy wearing a Bayern shirt.
As in you,
Mm.
or
So, yeah, is it you?
yeah, you're the
So,
random guy, right?
yeah. So more. Okay. But yeah, no. So what do we think? I don't even want to say this out loud. I can't shout because obviously I've got people around me. I'm in a hotel room. But this here, is a bed, above my head. It's like a bunk bed above the head thing, and there's little ones there. So I don't want to shout and wake her up. So, what do you think of Bayern Munich being linked with Nicholas Jackson?
Nicholas Jackson. Who's Nicholas Jackson?
Okay.
I'll let Alex go first.
Well, why? Why? It's the biggest load of rubbish I've heard in ages. I mean, well, first, what do Bayern see in him, and what do Bayern see in him to pay what Chelsea are asking for, which is something ridiculous. I think I saw 100 million euros around being floated about. Crazy, crazy money. I mean, he's a good striker, don't get me wrong. He'd be really good for a team like Leverkusen, a team like Leipzig. He could be good, but not for that price. And you're not going to pay that money for a backup. He's never going to be more than a backup. Yeah,
Yeah,
just
especially with
fake
Harry Kane
news.
in the squad. Like, yeah, look, I just had a quick look at it. You know, I mean, I know who Nicholas Jackson is. I don't rate him as one of the top elite, strikers in world football. He's still a very good striker, as Alex said. But his market value is allegedly, at the moment, is 65.2 million euro. If you're playing, if you don't play with two strikers, so for instance, if you had, a strike partnership up front, then you could think about it. You could possibly justify it, but you're only going to have him as a rotational player. He's never going to start, unless obviously Harry Kane is injured or he's just been having his minutes managed or something like that. Because Bayern will probably have around about 4 or 5. Well, I wouldn't say 4 or 5, but like 3 or 4 competitions or something like that throughout the season. So, I wouldn't spend that personally. I mean, even if I was a rich club, like had oil money, like Man City or something, like I wouldn't really want to be spending that much money on a backup striker or a rotational player. Like, if that's the case, then that's just alarming for financial fair play stuff, because then you may as well just get like another world football, like have Mbappe on your bench. You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah. No, the bigger picture of
I
the
can't
thing.
see why you guys are getting him.
Yeah, the bigger picture of the thing I understand. You did lose me though, brother, when you said him. When you said Mbappe on the bench when we're talking about Nicholas Jackson. You did lose me, but I
So
do understand
basically,
what you mean.
from that, I'm
I
meaning
know what
that
you
you would have like a quality player on the bench. So I'm not putting Nicholas Jackson in the same caliber, but like I said, that if you had that type of money to get Nicholas Jackson, who is only just going to be a rotational player, you may as well get like Mbappe on the bloody bench. That's basically where I'm going at.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I seen Alex laughing there, so I'll take it. I'll take it. But no, my see, I'm in two minds, right? I've been calling for ages and ages and ages. I want depth, depth, depth. There was back in the day when we had Mandzukic, Pizarro, and Mario Gomez. You know what I mean? All really good strikers. You know what I mean? So why can't we do that now? I understand we got Harry Kane. I don't think he's an elite striker in my opinion. The money that he's apparently coming for is a joke. But again, I said I'm on two minds. This would be the other mind for me personally.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
You know what I mean? So bless up everybody in the chat, man. Big up Rajat, big up Henry, big up Dave Catalan. Man said, no, actually, no, not big up Catalan. Take my words back. Man said, Nico Jackson is the next Drogba.
Not a chance.
Yeah, and I'm the next Messi, bro. The fat one.
Oh,
Like,
I'm
fuck.
5'4". I'm 5'4". I'm going to be like the next Lewandowski or some shit, man.
Like, No, it's not. Lyon, we winning the treble. Yeah, I would love it, though. I would love it, but I don't think so. But I do think we will get to the Champions League final, though. I don't know if we're going to win it, though. That's an early take because I just think.
You guys getting anyone extra for your squad, or you're pretty much set in stone?
See, Nick Watermay, I think this, by the way, is a lie. You know how transfers at times, you're in for a player, we'll just go get another player, and then the player you are actually in for, you go and get. I think personally that this is one of those. It's a ruse, if you want to say that word, and this is trying to make that Stuttgart crap themselves and be like, oh, we've got to sell him then. We've got to sell Nick Watermaid. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I personally think, like, I would take Nicholas Jackson, not for the price. I'd take him for about 10 million. But
For 10 million.
you know what I mean, and that's me being nice. You know what I mean? For his wages, he's just getting fed, and that's it, bro. He's not making any money. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, that's how I feel personally. But obviously, I had to go get my food when we were talking about Sesko there. But so obviously he picked Manchester United over Newcastle, which is funny, by the way, because so did Cunha and so did Mbeumo. So it's 3 players this season that has picked Man United over them. But you are right. It's the heritage, back in the day with the Rooney and the Beckham and Scholes, so on and so forth. I get it, 1,000%. It's not release clause, is it? It's just a normal bid, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's flat out fee. As
So that'll
previously
be
mentioned, it's 76.5 million euro with add-ons of 8.5 million euro, which the add-ons are alleged to be very easily obtainable. So that should easily push that pricing around about to the 75 million mark, sorry, 85 million mark or something like that. Without doing actual proper math, it's probably wrong, but anyway, so it's a good deal. But like I said, I would have rather have seen him play at least until January in the new system as a sole striker, because I think it's going to be Lewis Openda that's going to be staying as the main sole striker. But I think that having someone of a bit more physicality in a sense of actual strength to hold up the ball would have been more better in the 4-3-3 or even the 3-4-3 system as the sole striker. So, I mean, Lewis Openda is no slouch. He's certainly going to be able to do that. He's just not going to be able to have the physical attributes to fend off a lot of people. So, but if we're going for pace for the gegenpressing and being able to quickly distribute the ball and things like that and put pressure on, then yeah, Lewis Openda will be fine.
No, I get you. It does scare me though. Like, if you are getting rid of Sesko, surely you're gonna have to try and replace him. Like, is the replacement like, I know you said that the replacement's kind of already lined up, but like, is that replacement good enough?
I would say no. So it's basically going to be looking at Romelu or something. He's from Turkish club. Same similar profile. Tall player, physical, able to hold up the ball, be able to pass. But he's coming from the Turkish league to Bundesliga is a big step up. So he's unproven. Not to say that he's an absolute slouch or anything like that. He's still a good footballer. But it's going to basically be, take a little bit of time to see how he's going to be. And if he's just want an aerial threat for headers and things like that, then yeah, perfect. But there's so much more to it from what's going to be happening under the new system this season. So, yeah, look, it wouldn't be a bad deal, so to speak, in terms of what we're going to end up paying. I think it's like 30 million euro or less. So you're making profit. You're not looking at the player as going to be like the best caliber either. So you're looking at a player who's, I think, slightly older, but you're just going to need to build them up, so to speak, and then as we do with all clubs players at Leipzig, that we end up selling them on anyway. So basically, we're a distribution club, I like to say.
Yeah. No, I understand. I get what you're saying. Yeah, man, because I am very surprised. Like, I am, but I'm not. surprised that nobody's gone in for Vlahovic yet. You know what I mean? Because obviously his wages are a bit high, but like at the same time, oh God, I'm fucking scared the shit out of me. At the same time, you know, like he is a good striker. There is no ifs, buts, and maybes about him. He is a good striker. Juventus want him out. He's only staying because he knows he's not going to be able to get the money anywhere else. It sounds like I've got a jet coming over in the house. Note to self: don't do a stream on an iPad because it keeps falling over. But yeah, no. I think a Vlahovic would be good for one of you guys, like either team. Obviously, I know Alex doesn't need him. He's got Schick and Schick. Actually, that's the next topic we're going to talk about. Sorry if you can hear that; it's loud. Patrick Schick, what do you think of his contract extension?
Really, really good. He's probably been the best striker we've had in the last 10 years, probably without a doubt. He's currently the 5th top goal scorer, I believe. Only a couple of goals behind 4th. In terms of goals per game, he's basically got 1 every 2. Last season, he was exceptional, and that was despite being on the bench. I saw that in terms of exceeding expected goals, he exceeded his expected goals by like 10.7, which was the most of any forward in the top 5 leagues. So extremely underrated, and it's really going to be going for longer. There are some doubts about whether he actually would stay before the end of the season. Had Alonso stayed, he would have almost certainly left. But with Ten Hag, I think he's the number 1 striker. Boniface, he has had some fitness issues apparently, which is why he hasn't been playing so much. But at the moment, at least in terms of pre-season, it looks like Schick's the number 1, set number 1, and Cavani is the number 2. Interesting to see how Boniface will feel. Boniface could play with Schick. It's been mentioned by Ten Hag that he could be interested in using him as a winger. Should be very good. Yeah, Schick's a great striker, and very lucky to have him. And by having him, it kind of links to what I was saying last year. The best way to put a challenge on Bayern is to keep your best players, give them long contracts, give them the money, don't lose them, and he still has a good 3-4 years left in him. So hopefully 3-4 years of getting 20 goals or more a season would be excellent.
Yeah, no, I generally thought, and he was going to be a Bayern striker. I thought that was going to be the guy we get when Lewandowski left. Obviously, you know, I don't know what the hell we were doing. You know what I mean? Well, I do know what we were doing. We were flirting with Erling Haaland. He went and took a bigger check from, you know, the oil merchants in England. And, you know, obviously we didn't get him. Lewandowski was like, yeah, could have won 2 Ballon d'Ors, got you a sick treble, whatever else. And you do this to me? Yeah, fuck this. I'm going to play for Barcelona. You know what I mean? So that's who I thought we were going to get. You know, at that point as well, I'm right by saying, could be wrong, Alex. Correct me if I am wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was either 2 weeks before or 2 weeks after. I think Schick signed a contract extension at that point because that what stopped us getting him. Because there were rumors, you know, not massive rumors. Here we go and all that shit, but like there were rumors that we were going to get him. That was going to be the guy. Do you remember that, Alex, or am I waffling?
I can imagine that happening. It was probably at a time when we were right on your tail or ahead of you. Was it in the unbeaten season?
No. The
Well, we've had
season Tuchel's. Wait, no, not even Tuchel because he got rid of Mane. It was one of the Julian seasons when we were
oh
trying
yeah,
to play. We were trying to play Sadio Mane as a freaking striker. Like what?
yeah.
Um,
I can imagine. To be honest with you, though, like at the time in not one of Nagelsmann's seasons, we were second place at one point, and you know how it is. We were about to play Bayern. Suddenly, you're interested in our best player at the time,
yeah,
and it's just trying to unsettle us. But yeah, I can imagine there probably would be interest. I mean, he is a quality player, but having interest is one thing, and us actually responding to that and giving
yeah. Of
players
course,
another thing.
of course,
Yeah,
of course, of course. But yeah, like obviously we got your opinion on what you think, and I agree with you. I think he is a really, really good striker. Has he had injury problems though? Because this guy
yeah,
was like top for a while, and then he's like gone down to. He has had injury problems, right?
he has.
Okay.
He hasn't had a season where he hasn't had a serious injury in like that I can remember. Um, but fortunately, we have decent backup. So yeah, and when he does play, he scores. So
Yeah.
if
No,
he can,
I'm with you.
yeah,
Um, I'm with you. I'm really excited for the season coming. I really am. Um, just because not necessarily because Bayern have just spent 75 million or anything like that, which you should be excited when you do that. But like in general, more on the fact of like I want to see what Ten Hag can do. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people saying that he's going to get like third, fourth, fifth, and he's not even going to try and push the first and second, which I understand. You have lost, the system. You have lost the main player, but you still got really good freaking players. You know what I mean? I might hate you lot. Don't get it twisted. I hate half your team, but you have good players. I'm a realist. You know what I mean? I'm not going to bullshit. Um, but I am interested to see what he's going to do because he was doing really good for Ajax. I think people forget, you know what I mean? And I know we spoke about this on the first episode of Alice Football, but like, I think he's going to do well. Um, so, yeah, what's your overall thoughts from the games you've seen?
yeah. So well, first game's total write off. But most recent game against Pisa, I was just astounded by it. To be honest, we played so well, so much improvement. Um, it was like watching Alonso um 2 seasons ago. Like the dominance, the pressing was unbelievable, and the players we brought in, there wasn't a single bad performance, and that's whether it be from goalkeeper to attack. Doesn't matter how old they were all doing really well. Tape, for example, yeah,
You're not
he,
making me happy here, Alex.
he is the future. I'm telling you, he is going to be the next 80 million plus sale we make.
Not to us,
17
I hope.
years old. Sorry.
So not to us, I hope. You're probably going to screw us over
Uh,
again.
well, hopefully not to you, and not to screw you over. You'd love him. Yeah, he is crazy good. He's got speed of Frimpong. He's got the defending of Hincapie. He's got technique of a winger. As a centre back, it's mad. You just got to watch him play. I just hope he gets the minutes. They also got Matza. Um, Probably his best performance. He nearly scored a worldie. First time shot from just outside the box from a corner. It's heading in the top right corner. Got Had to have a really good save to stop it. And ball control, slight bits. Yeah, again, it's hard. I shouldn't get too hyped up because he won't be Wirtz. He won't be Wirtz, but he could be our next Wirtz, our next star creator. makes me think maybe we don't even need to sign another attacking midfielder where you play. I'm very, very excited to watch him. And the thing is, Ten Hag, the problem with Ten Hag at Man United was he was the guy making all the big decisions regarding transfers and so on. It isn't the case here. It's Rolfes. He has the say on whether he likes a transfer, of course,
Yeah,
but we have actual experts making the decisions, and so far it's working. And given all the sales, yes, it's bad that we've lost so many players, but that just means we can buy a lot more players in and players in which suit the new system. It would be arguably much worse position if we only signed a few players but changed the manager because everyone has to learn something new, whereas it isn't quite the case now. So yeah, very,
no,
very
I'm
excited.
with you. No, I get what you're saying. Um, I get what you're saying. For me, I feel like, you know, again, Man United as a whole, you know what I mean? I won't speak too long about them because obviously this is a Bundesliga show, but like as a whole though, you know, we know it's a cesspit. You know what I mean? Realistically, we know it's a cesspit. But at the same time, like, I don't I just think Ten Hag's a good manager. I really do. Um, and I think if I'm being 100%, the way I see it as well is if he starts getting these players clicking, you know what I mean? You know, we seen me and Justin seeing you there, you know, smiling, which as a friend, I don't mind you smiling. You know what I mean? I really don't. But you know, you're talking about a rival of mine. You know what I mean? So I get it. I get it. But yeah, no, like I don't think anyone's necessarily going to replace Vert. You know what I mean? And by the way, I'm not saying you said that. I know you didn't. It'd just be like, you know, where we literally what I was just talking about with Lewandowski. You know, no one could replace him at that time. And then we had to go and shell out a load of cash on Harry Kane. You know what I mean? Um, which yeah, again, we should have got Patrick Schick, but whatever. That's a different story. But yeah, like, what do you know off the top of your head, Alex? What like how much Liverpool are paying? Because I'm sure it's in installments. So do you know how much they're paying every single season?
Well, there are various reports. So it's 150 million total. Most people are saying it's going to be about 116, 100, 226 million up front. The rest is supposedly quite achievable. I can imagine it'll be something like qualify for the Champions League or win the Premier League, something like that. Which for a team like Liverpool in the next 5 years or whatever should be fine. I'm not sure about the installments, so I don't know about that. But we're spending the money. Well, the idea is to spend it sustainably. We've probably spent about half of our total income so far. Um, but I got a feeling I'm going to spend a lot more. Yeah, and if you notice as well, like I've seen another post about another Liverpool sale where they've said this player's going for 15 million. No, it's actually going for 10 million. No, it's actually going for 8 million. I've got a feeling that it is going to be 150 million, despite what some people are saying. It could be less than that. It won't be less than that. It was clear. Bayern made it clear we will not let Fitz go for less than 150 million, and I trust we stuck by that. It would just be the Liverpool fans trying to reduce the feel of if they're saying like just to try and make them feel a bit better about themselves. But yeah, it's going to be 150 million installments. I'm not sure.
Yeah, which you know from what you said, you know at the start of when I asked you, you know like 100 million up front is amazing for you guys. Obviously, you would have had the Frimpong money as well, but like uh, so if it's 100 million up front, if it goes to 50 million, then what? Let's say it's paid 25 million. You know, every other year. So, you know, so next season 25 million, season after that 25 million. Like, that's really obviously you can't replace certain things. I know you've obviously got Granit Xhaka gone as well as so on, but that's still a good amount of money to get some players in. You know what I mean? I know the
Yeah,
market's going bloody wild and bonkers and everything, but like realistically, you should be able to get some good players for that every single season, or the next 2 seasons. You know what I mean?
yeah, definitely. And to be honest, that one sale has probably transformed our entire expectations for transfers. Like before, we used to have maybe one 25 million transfer
Yeah.
each season.
Yeah.
Now, 25 million is quite mid-range for us, it seems. There were talks of players 50 million euros around, and we've already beaten the transfer record twice this season. So yeah, be plenty of opportunity to strengthen the team in the future. And saw it with the Havertz deal, for example. One transfer built us a new title challenging and title winning team. So yeah, I'm no doubt that we're going to spend well. We're going to spend well. We're going to get the right players, and even if it looks like we're down and out for the moment,
Mm-hmm.
that will change very quickly. I'm sure.
I don't disagree whatsoever, mate. You know what I mean? You know me full well. I would love to disagree with you, but I agree with you. Again, you know what I mean? That's the thing. Also, number one, smash the likes, people. Check out Alex's Twitter. You're the wrong way. Alex's Twitter. Obviously that's on the screen. Check out Justin, obviously, podcast and so on. But like everybody on this panel is real. They say what they actually think. You know what I mean? No one's paid by the clubs. Even though we would love to be paid by our clubs, don't get it twisted.
If
But
I
no
had
one's
Red
paid
Bull
by the
money, I
clubs.
wouldn't be with the studio.
Yeah, facts,
I'd
facts.
have my own studio, man.
You know what I mean? You just have Red Bull cans everywhere. You know what I
I
mean?
can
So,
go get some if you want.
you know, I don't know if you know this, Justin, but there's like this certain craze with monster cans. I've seen it all over my socials recently, and it's like they stack monster cans and have like a monster can wall or something. You should do that for your background, but Red Bull.
Yeah, I could probably get away with doing that.
But no. No, I'm with you, and I agree with you, Alex. Even though, like I said, I don't really want to agree with you, but I kind of have to. What is there any other like news or anything that's going to be happening soon for any of our clubs? 'Cause I don't think off the top of my head there's anything from Bayern. Obviously, we're trying to get a striker, but like
Sesko.
I don't. Yeah, Sesko for you guys. Yeah.
No, I mean for you. Like you should have brought him.
Brother, if I was at home, I would have kicked you for that. But
That's right.
I'm gonna I'd end up kicking you and banning you from the fucking studio like a dumbass. So I'm not even gonna do that. You know what I mean? You got a free pass. Next step, that's your
Well,
warning. No more. I'm talking to you
I
like
mean, you could. Chelsea are looking for to get rid of Christopher and Kunko as well, so you could go him.
To be fair, I know that you just made that as a joke, but I would take him. I would
Well, it's better than
actually
Nicholas
take him.
Jackson. Yeah, it's better than Nicholas
Brother,
Jackson. They're trying to offload both.
I'd rather you or Alex as the backup striker than Nicholas freaking Jackson. That's it, and how bad he is, all right? But at the same time, I would actually take in Kunku because, if with Watermaid, though, that's got to be said, because I don't want him to be the replacement for Watermaid or the replacement for Jamal Musiala while he's out, because I just don't think that works. But yeah, for me, I'd get him in. You know what I mean? Again, if you can get for 20 million as well, I'm not spending this 40 million or whatever the hell they want. Like, number one, his wages are going to be ridiculous. There's a reason he won't go back to Leipzig. You know what I mean? I'm sure you'll agree with me. His wages are freaking astronomical. You know what I mean? So he's got to take a wage cut. And if we can get him for cheap, he's pushing his way out. They're pushing him out. Perfect. Bring him in. You know what I mean? But
A lot of
apparently
people
it's
have said that.
only if we get only if we don't get Watermaid. Carry on. Sorry.
Yeah. A lot of people have said that the general consensus for RB Leipzig fans globally and locally as well is that they would take Christopher and Kunku back. It's sort of like, if we had the chance to take back, even though we've just sold him to Hamburger SV, Yusuf Powson or something like that. He's much beloved at the club, but I wouldn't take him back myself. Personally, it's bad business. Fantastic player, but you're going to be looking at him. He's going to probably play 1 in 3 games or every other game. It's not going to be so much bad in this season, being only in the 2 competitions in Germany. So, but looking at it from a perspective is that he's not going to take a wage cut. Most likely, I would see him probably going to Saudi Arabia because that's where the money's at for players that can't make it anywhere else, so to speak. Not saying that he can't make it anywhere else, but it's at the wages that he's probably going to be requesting. It's a far stretch. So that's pretty much what I get by that. And other than that, from an RB Leipzig perspective, we've got some players that are still looking to go on the way out. Andre Silva needs to go find a new club. There's talks of him going to Werder Bremen. Amadou Haidara looks to be going to League One. We never really saw his best form from RB Salzburg when we came through. Xavi Simons is looking for a new club. Elif Elmas is looking for a new club. I'm not completely sold on Asano Drago from Schalke. I don't think he needs to be sold, but a loan deal might be possible. Kevin Campbell is definitely going to be on the way out at some stage. We've got a couple of other players as well, most likely. There was talks of Willie Orban, Lucas Klosterman, players like that possibly leaving. They're not specifically going to leave, the same as Peter Calacci. These are players that the last 3 mentioned are players that will have their squad position, but it's more of a case of, do you want to stay for the project of building in and implementing more youth and possibly have less game time for you, depending on who you are out of those 3, then you're going to need to be like, well, if you want to be the number 1 keeper, for instance, Peter Galacci, he needs to go elsewhere, because it's going to be Martin van der Voort going forward. Willie Orban is maybe keeping his captaincy. No one knows yet. I'm going to be very peed off if he doesn't get it, because I think personally in world football, defenders are very underrated. It's mainly an attacking game, so to speak. It's your creative midfielders or your wingers or your strikers and things like that. For me, I think defenders get not enough praise. And yes, Willie Orban is also my favourite player, but in general, I think defenders, especially no nonsense defending, I remember back old school, you'd have Maldini and Nesta and players like that who are just physical and just clearing the balls. And that alone is underrated.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And I think that's one of the main things, isn't it? Really, personally,
What's that?
Just in general, you know what I mean. You need to have experience as your captain. You know what I mean? It would be again, I'm just going to make this as a hypothetical. It's going to be a really shit one, so bear with me. But for instance, it's like Luis Diaz coming in, right? And he was the captain of Liverpool, for instance. Then he comes in and then he wants captaincy. Nah, you ain't getting it. You know what I mean? Again, I said this to Alex, I'll say it to you. I don't like your club and I don't like your players. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
Speaking honestly, he is a good freaking centre back. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it doesn't
no
surprise
nonsense
me.
defender.
Yeah.
Leads from the front, organises the defensive line, things like that. But there's been talks with Ole Werner. He's going to be the one that actually picks the captain. So that's where I'm looking at it from an interesting perspective, because he's obviously looking at the leadership group and going from there. But we don't want to focus on too much on youth, because you got to pick a player that's going to possibly be there, because we don't have a good turnaround. In terms of keeping players, a lot of the time we have them for a couple of years stint, 2-3 years, and then we sell them. So, Willie Orban's been with us since I'm pretty sure the 3rd division. So he's been around the club for quite some time now. So these are the players that you want to look at and go, okay, well then who's the next player that's going to be staying there for long? Young Chedo Bishebu is next picked. I would say the successor for Willie Orban, but he's only 19 years old. I believe it's only 19. If is any older, it's no more than 20. But he's not ready to take that step yet. So he's still only just a sporty-act player who's going to be coming in as a rotation player. So I think letting the old Werner pick the captain is a wrong decision. But look, as a fan, these are things that are questionable and subjective. But if it works, I mean, I'm not going to complain about it, am I? So
No. I hear it. I hear it. So yeah, like I said, we've got obviously Bayern Munich. We've got. I say we. I'm so used to talking to Bayern fans that I say we.
I mean, your chat is Bayern fans, so
Yeah, no, true. But I feel like I've just insulted both of you, and you both just got spat at basically, in your eyes anyway. You know what I mean? But like look at Alex looking at me. Alex is like thinking, this fucking bearded prick just said we. How dare you? No, but yeah, obviously Bayern Munich have obviously one game left, and then obviously we've got 2 games left. Personally, I know that the Super Cup is a pre-season trophy, but it's still a freaking trophy for me. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not gonna, if Alex wins the league, you go and win the DB Pokal, and then I don't know. Let's just say Dortmund win something, Champions League, and then we've just got the preseason trophy. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, but we got no. But I still do want to win it. You know what I mean? Especially against Stuttgart, how the way they've been. So yeah, like we kind of got 2 in that sense, and then obviously we've got to face Justin over here, and it's going to be an interesting one. Obviously, we're going to be collaborating towards that going forward and so on. But yeah, what do you like? Early thoughts on the Super Cup? I know we need to end in a minute, but like Stuttgart versus Bayern.
Yeah, early thoughts. Tough game, and it's not going to be a walk in the park for Bayern. And I'm not just saying that because I don't like Bayern.
No, I agree with you.
I think it's going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be coming in towards like extra time or penalties, so to speak. So I think you'll get the full 90 minutes as a draw, and it's going to take something special or penalties to basically stop that. I don't think Bayern is going to be able to run riot and just win. If they do, it's going to be like something like a 3-1 or something like that. With a late goal, consolation goal or something. But I don't see Stuttgart really being an easy pushover, especially considering the way they will look at it is that this is for them. It's just as good as winning the Bundesliga, so to speak. And getting any trophy off of Bayern in a final against Bayern is essentially a milestone in itself. Because as you know, as you even said, that you're looking to win the Bundesliga this season, and the Rekordmeister is called that for a reason. It's essentially your league, so to speak, in terms of if you are a manager appointed at that club, that is your main goal. Your minimum requirement is winning the Bundesliga trophy. Everything else is like second, maybe deep into Champions League and things like that. So I think it's going to be a good game. I don't know what time it's going to be on my time. If I'm at work, I'll probably watch it just for the hell of it, even though I'm not supposed to watch things like that at work, but whatever.
Yeah, by the way, if your job is watching, he didn't say that. He's only joking.
No, my boss probably doesn't even care about my streams and stuff. So, my boss is pretty cool. So it's like as long as the work gets done, they don't really give a shit what I do. So, once the work starts dropping off, and and things like that, it's a bit different. But I've been managed it for the last couple of years with as hectic as a football schedule. Content creator, as you know, Leon.
Yep.
I've managed it well, so it's not going to be too bad. But I'd like to hear Alex's thoughts on what do you think the preview of the season would be with the Bayern and Stuttgart.
Well, it'll be an exceptional game to watch because teams can do really, really good football. Stuttgart in particular, every time that we've played them recently, they've been exceptionally tough. We played them in the Super Cup last year. It got all the way to penalties there. It's hard to really say because Stuttgart, their team, it won't be the same as the season before. For example, they've recently lost Mio, for example, who was for many their best player. Their best player for the last couple of seasons. He's off to Saudi Arabia. probably agree. It'll probably go to extra time. Bayern still heavy favourites.
Yes.
Like you say, it's a pre-season trophy. A lot of it just depends on who takes it more seriously.
Yeah.
If you play your strongest 11, could easily be fine 3-4. But Stuttgart, they won't go down without a fight. So they'll probably score maybe a couple of goals. I reckon it could be 40. That'd be my prediction.
I'm with it. I'm with it. I would love nothing more than a smashing, just to show them who's boss. You know what I mean? But but no. All seriousness, I do agree with you. It's going to be a good game. I can't wait to watch it. But yeah, obviously we've got to get the rest of the transfers hopefully done before then. It's going to be interesting, by the way, as well. If we don't get Watermaid by that time, will he play? Because all of the you guys will know, and everybody in the chat will know as well. With like transfers and stuff, normally it's like we'll talk about Bertrand, for instance. It was he wants Liverpool, he only wants Liverpool. Here we go, or bid put in, rejected, bid put. You know what I mean? Where he is saying that like he's unhappy in training. You know what I mean? Like, he's forcing his way out and so on. Like, I would love to speak to a Stuttgart fan to see what they think of it because, like, generally he is pushing his way out of the club. You know what I mean? Now, I don't think he's a Judas to the point where he will do that. I think he is going to play if he's able to play. But for me personally, it's going to be interesting to see if he does play. We'll go through the chat and then we'll end. I know it's getting late for you, Alex. And obviously, I appreciate both your times and I apologise for being late once again. But yeah, why is he saying thank? Oh, he's a Man United fan. Okay, there we go. So he said, Liam, thank Justin for me. There we go. Bro, I don't think he's going to be hating. Yeah, like I don't think he's going to be hating on you though, because you know you are giving him a good amount of money for him. I know you want to keep him, but still. I seen another thing. What was that? 100%. Yeah, I would like to know though, bro, why you're singing to me. You could have just put big up, hey Liam. You know what I mean, man? Singing, I'm a believer and all of that. Like, what's going on? Peak, absolutely peak.
Enjoying the 4-0 friendly.
Oh, I was 100%. And then seeing a bunch of Tottenham fans after, I felt like cracking up, but I just left him alone. Bro, why we linked to Nicholas Jackson? Our border's finished. I'll say one word, Max Herbal, which actually I need to shut up because he's in Germany. He might pull up to the hotel and eat my food, bro. So yeah, you can piss off. Yes, I think so. I think he's still got his ankle injury, I believe. So yeah, there we go. He said it's Shrek. I believe agree personal terms. Okay, well, there we go. No words. But yeah, bless up to everybody. Big up to obviously Justin. Big up to Alex. Big up to the chat. This has been episode 2 of Alex Football. Obviously we do this weekly. Obviously I'll let you know if it's not going to be that. By the time we have to do next week's show, I will be home. So super excited for that. And yeah, man, I love speaking to these guys. I know that they hate my team's guts, which is, it is what it is.
Feelings mutual.
100%. Feeling is mutual. I agree. But yeah, no, good show.
For you, anyway,
So yeah.
Hey, I don't mind Leverkusen. That's all right.
Right. Why is this now turned into a 2v1?
No, it's never a 2v1. I just don't mind Leverkusen. I don't like Bayern.
Fair enough.
So any team is okay in my books, basically, besides Bayern. So,
okay, now I need to ask Alex. Alex, do you like Leipzig? Look at that big. Do you see that?
I admire the way they run as a club. I don't like what they stand for. I'd say.
Look, you can go to the rbltalk.com website and then you can have a look at when I had Alex on my show for his actual response. I can't remember it, to be honest.
There we go. Make sure to do that as well. That's not a shameless plug because he's part of the damn show. So, yeah, go over. Which way is it? I'm doing the wrong thing again. It's just down there. So yeah, man, bless up. But yeah, big up to everybody. I will be back in about 30, 40 minutes. I need to eat this food, scram this food, I'm starving. And then I'll be back to talk about the game today. But yeah, bless up to both you lads. Hopefully everyone's doing well. And until then, we're getting out of here. Mia. Peace out, people.